Good morning. Now, in continuation with the chapter respiration, today we'll be studying the mechanism of breathing. We know that breathing involves two stages, one is inspiration and another is expiration. You know already that inspiration, during which the atmospheric air is drawn in, and expiration, when the alveolar air is released out. So the movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by creating a pressure gradient. Now, what is a pressure gradient? There is a difference in the pressure of gases between the lungs and the atmosphere. So inspiration occurs when the intrapulmonary pressure. Now, what is intrapulmonary pressure? Now here the movement of air into and out of the lungs is done by creating a pressure gradient, as I've already told you. Now here inspiration occurs if the pressure within the lungs, so intrapulmonary pressure is the pressure within the lungs, that is less than the atmospheric pressure. So if it is less than the atmospheric pressure, then inspiration occurs. That is, there is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to the atmospheric air. So when there is a negative pressure with response to the atmospheric air, then the inspiration occurs. And in the lungs, similarly, expiration. Now, what is expiration? We know the movement of the alveolar air out of the lungs. So that is called as expiration. Now, what happens during expiration? The intrapulmonary pressure, that is pressure within the lungs. So that is the intrapulmonary pressure. When it is higher than the atmospheric pressure, it is more than the atmospheric pressure, then the expiration occurs. So the diaphragm and the special set of muscles, you can see here extra intercostal muscles, they relax, and external intercostal muscles, they contract. So it is due to the movement of these muscles that this process happens of inspiration and expiration. So the diaphragm and the specialized set of muscles, external and internal intercostal muscles between the ribs, they help in the generation of such gradients. Inspiration is initiated by the contraction of the diaphragm, which increases the volume of the thoracic chamber in the anterior posterior axis, and the contraction of the external intercostal muscles, it lifts up the ribs. It lifts up the ribs and the sternum. Sternum is the chest bone. This is the chest bone. It's the mid that is present. So it causes an increase in the volume of the thoracic chambers in the dorsoventral axis, and so the overall increase in the thoracic volume causes a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. So increase in the pulmonary volume decreases the intrapulmonary pressure, which forces the air from outside to move into the lungs, that is inspiration happens, and relaxation of the diaphragm. Now relaxation of the diaphragm happens, and the intercostal muscles, they relaxes, and the diaphragm and the sternum to their normal positions, and reduces the thoracic volume and the pulmonary volume, and this leads to the increase in the intrapulmonary pressure to slightly above, so it becomes higher, and so increase in the intrapulmonary pressure above the atmospheric pressure causes the expulsion of the air from the lungs, so it released out, and we say that the expiration takes place. So we have the ability to increase the strength of the inspiration and expiration with the help of additional muscles in the abdomen. Now these, on an average, a healthy human breathes 12 to 16 times per minute, and the volume of the air involved in the breathing movements can be estimated by using a spirometer. What is a spirometer? It helps in the clinical assessment of the pulmonary functions. So I hope this process is clear and all these terms are clear to you. Even if you have any doubts, you can always mail me. Thank you so much for today.